All right, Michael, we're back. This is RE Geeks, baby. We're going to talk about all things tech. And now we had this really cool platform all set up. Michael spent hours and hours and hours laboring over the colors and making sure the font was correct and making sure that it looked all purty for his slide deck. And then he called me and he laid it on me. Greg, we have to cancel it. I have something else I want to talk about. Michael, what do you want to talk about today, buddy? And by the way, I am digging the shirt, and you are all caffeinated up. Got a new setup going on. I love it.
Good morning. I am changing out the lights. I've got a ladder behind me, copiers covered up. I am ready to go. And Greg, I did not labor over the colors. I did not labor over the slides too much. As a matter of fact, I didn't even fully look at the slides because I am a trusting soul. And I want to talk today about what you have been calling me about every day for the last week to tell me how excited and enthused you are about the changes in AI that you are learning and the things that are helping you improve your business. And guys, I know we talk about this all the time. We talk about AI. We should talk about Greg's lights dimming because of the duckbill on his hat.
Sorry, I was looking. Yeah. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, he's looking at his text, guys. I don't even know where my phone is.
Well, I'm looking at it because I have a photo. I'm going to show everybody exactly about what you're talking about because I was so excited to send it to see it. I sent a photo to you.
He was pretty excited. I could probably show you a few. Okay, so today we are going to talk about what Greg has been learning. And what we're going to talk about is what you need to be doing in AI today. And we've had this conversation before, but it's going to be a different path. Today, we're going to talk about how Greg is actually learning to use the tools to take advantage of what's out there to improve his business and lifestyle. And you know how I realized that Greg is into it is, guys, Greg is spending money on AI.
I'm not just a little bit, Michael. I am spending more and more and more every day on AI. I'm actually rationalizing and justifying it like this. I'm saying, okay, so since I'm not going to the bars anymore and I'm too old to go hitting the clubs. That happened many moons ago when that ship sailed. But I'm investing in myself and in my future. Now, Michael, let me ask you a question. Did I go into this kicking and screaming or did I embrace it right off the bat? On spending money.
Oh, the spending of money is kicking and screaming.
Yes.
The AI, I think, as Greg started to realize that, hey, holy cow, I can actually use these tools to enhance what I'm doing. And this started with a 5-minute call. Greg, why aren't you using Claude? Why are you using ChatGPT? Why aren't you using Cowork? What's Cowork? Okay. And that was maybe 3 days ago. And so with my other company, Geeks, we jumped on the call. We connected remotely to his machine. And I said, Greg, you're still using the browser. Stop using the browser.
I didn't know the difference.
Didn't know the difference. So Greg installed Claude, the application, on his computer. And guys, it was like a firestorm in a dry field of grass.
Yes.
He took off and started building things. And every day it was like, picture, I did this, picture, I did this. And we're only 4 days and I have like 48 pictures. My wife was like, is that a girl? And I said, no. Is it porn? No, it's AI porn.
It's Greg. Being very excited this computer's working for him that I showed him. That's all.
Yeah. So, guys, it really is that powerful that it can turn around somebody that notoriously does not like spending a lot of money on technology. Took me a while to get Greg off his abacus and whiteboard into computers 20 years ago. And now we have him building apps.
You know, the funny thing about this, Michael, is that I've been 26 years in the business. I've gone through all kinds of iterations. I thought I was pretty tech savvy. You and your company, you guys really opened my eyes to this whole thing, this whole Cowork thing. I'm like, what is Cowork? Where do I find Cowork? What does chat or Claude text mean? What is this different language you speak? And once it was explained to me, I mean, I'm not going to go into details of what I've built as of last night, but I'll tell you one thing. It is more than I could have imagined, and it's growing on its own. It's unbelievable. It's out hunting for the content I'm asking it for. It's building things I'm putting into place. I have a plan and a goal to achieve a certain monetary amount, a certain transaction, certain recruitment amount, and I had to do research, build out performas, look at run SWOT analysis on different companies and different opportunities, and we came up with a plan. When
Okay.
I say it, came up with a
Hold
plan
up,
to talk
because we
about.
have this conversation all the time, Greg, and I
Yes.
want you to explain what the difference between Claude and Cowork is. And they're both the same thing. So chat and Cowork. What do
So
you
so chat is going to be like your bestie after a couple of beers, chat back and forth, no pun intended. Yakety schmack, we should do this. What about that? Blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the problem with chat. It's really fun to use. And you get that whole mindset going like, oh my God, I'm doing something. I'm doing something. I'm doing something. Yeah, you're doing something. You're wasting time and credits. Now, for quick questions and answers with a good thinker behind it, yes, phenomenal. Now, if you want to get weird, you get into co-work. And it takes a minute to learn it. And right now, this version, it's on the upper left-hand side. It's not very well marked, but there's a little chat boxes where the chat. The next one in is going to be Cowork. Next one's going to be into Claude Code. Now, Claude Code's for the ultra dorks, which I hopefully aspire to be one day. But right now, Cowork is perfect. But you have an idea. So what I do is I have an idea in Chat GTP. So I kind of just throw everything at the wall. Then I ask it to write a command for Claude Chat. Then Claude Chat and I talk about it, and I say write a command to Claude Cowork to build out said product. I take that product that command over to Claude Cowork. I copy paste. It goes to Banana Cake Town and starts ripping through my computer. Now, are there allowances? Are there permissions? Yes. Now, I've opted to give it permission to everything because I don't keep anything really that important on my computer. I don't do banking or anything secretive on my computer. So it's like, okay, knock your kitten socks off. It went in yesterday and started building everything for me. And we ran out of credit, so we had to wait till it re-upped. But it is crushing some serious data and putting some amazingly huge things together. And it's unbelievable because I said it. Here's the thing about Cowork that Michael hasn't brought up yet, which he told me. And I'm like, you are full of crap, yo. Guys, remember that old idea of like, just set it and forget it? Like when you're going to either cook something or clean something, and you're like, just set it and forget it and move on. That's Cowork. Give it a command, isolate it, and kind of work through your thought patterns. You guys both understand the outcome because there's pushing and then there's pulling when it comes for content and product creation. You can push it like we do on Chat GTP, like you push questions, you kind of push an idea instead of saying this is. Then the pull option is what I personally have switched over to, is where I go in and I say, okay, this is my goal, this is my end result I desire, this is what I think we need. But the most powerful thing that I do, and Michael will probably say like, Greg, I've been doing this for a decade, which he can't say that because it hasn't been around for a decade. But I do the pull method and I say, give me the 15 questions you need me to answer to achieve the goal that we've set out. It will draft the damn questions. Then you say, okay, I need it to be refined more on this, tweak that. What about this? Give me additional questions you need to get to the next level of performance. And the damn thing goes, it literally says thinking on the screen, thinking, boom, goes into action, comes up with a full plan. We evaluate it, we tweak, or we save it to skills or memory for further use, collaboration into other projects and other skills. I have my chat online speaking with my ChatGPT is talking to my Claude chat. My Claude chat's talking with me on Cowork, all building different independent products, all producing out with one result in mind. And I just get morning briefs. I get morning updates on my emails. I get people. I had to go out and wish everybody on my social media happy birthday every single day with personalized messages for the way that I speak to people. That allows opportunities. And by the way, Michael, It is unbelievable the people that I'm reconnecting with in 2 days of doing this.
Mhm.
Greg, how are you? I haven't heard from you. What's going on? Good to see you. How's your dad? What's new? Are you still in the Bay? All from wishing somebody happy birthday. And I'm doing it on LinkedIn, Facebook, uh, wherever they put their birthdays. I'm wishing them a happy birthday every single time with something unique and different, but it gets the conversation started. That's what you're looking for. That's what prospecting is. That's what cold calling is. That's what all this stuff is about the conversation, getting back in someone's life in a valuable way. Michael's sitting there grabbing his microphone aggressively, wanting to jump in on this conversation, but I'm not going to let him, but here he is.
Okay, Greg, I think that you finally hit the mark on what separates Cowork from Claude and from ChatGPT and all of that. And what I think is important to point out here is that the purpose of Cowork is something like wishing somebody a happy birthday. It's actually logging into your LinkedIn and it's forming a message based on an action point in time, relevant information that it's pulling down, and it's posting on somebody else's timeline. Okay.
Yep.
It is doing something that you would normally have to spend time doing yourself.
And I hated doing it because it was laborious. I love the people, but it was laborious and time consuming. And so with it automatically going out, the algorithm sees that we're having a genuine interaction, because I always make sure that I try to re-interact. If they say thank you or good to hear from you or something like that, I immediately get back to them as fast as possible. And it's just that contact point, Michael. We always say in this business that this industry is based around contacts. It's like football. More contacts, the more business. This is that tool that you can do, and it just runs for you in the middle of the night. Wishing everybody happy birthday. Reach back out to you, get a burger, a beer, a salad, a walk on the beach with the dogs. Who cares? You're reconnecting with people.
Yeah.
And that's the power.
And I think as you look at that, you can connect with email. Yeah. And I have leads that come in from my website. They're tagged lead. And when that first lead comes in, Cowork goes in and it responds. It says, hey, I got your information. This is my automated response to let you know we are in the office between this and this, and somebody will reach out to you. If it's urgent, pick up the phone or text me at this number. Okay, so it's a great tool to say, hey, I'm going to get with you, but if you really need something, call me now. Okay, and I think that, there's a lot of stuff that we can go through here, Greg. I'm going to bring up our slide deck, and I know, what do I do?
No, please do, because I like the slide deck. I'm looking through YouTube. I'm going to talk about a guy.
What do I do? Okay, so I'm going to skip the facts. We all know this. Everybody's using AI. But let's talk about the 10 AI categories that matter, okay?
Sure.
Conversational AI and lead chat. Okay, we are in I am in the Bay Area. You're in the sticks. In the Bay Area, I get a lot of inquiries from people where English is not their preferred language. One of the things that conversational AI and lead chat gives me is the ability to open the connection in someone's native language. Okay, that's huge. This matters. This gives you a way to be on 24/7 and communicating in the way people work. With the new AirPods, you can now translate certain languages live. Okay, it's great. You have a way to do this. That's all based on AI.
Let me ask you a question, because I didn't know they could do that. I know there's some other headphones that are out there that can do that, but literally this is me asking, because I honestly don't know the answer. So AirPods obviously come in pairs. So if you give the other one, after cleaning it, you dirty monster, over to your client, would they be able to hear the conversation in their native tongue?
Yes, but you don't give them your AirPod. You give them you put your phone out there, and what you're saying comes back to them over speaker.
So, okay, so they're getting their stuff, then they speak, you hear it, then you speak, and then they hear it. So you hear it through your earpod, they hear it through the phone, correct?
Yeah, and it works.
You hear that through the phone. anyways, okay, yeah, so it works.
Speaker. Think about it.
That's true.
Speakerphone. Okay. So conversational AI, lead chat, predictive lead intelligence. And Greg, I know your brother had some interest in this, but what it really comes down to is we're going to know when people want to move. We're going to know what their influences are, what they are, what's driving them to act in the business. We are going to start, we call it predictive, but it's knowledgeable, right? We can tell you statistically today when somebody is going to move, when they're going to pass away within margins of error, when they might be interested in buying. Okay, all of those things come out. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it better than your dartboard? 110%.
I like my dartboard.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. I want to jump in, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Jump in.
So one of the things that I'm toying around right now, ladies and gentlemen, is something very simple and fun and easy. Go to your MLS and download every single expired or canceled property in the cities, zip codes, areas that you work. Then go back and grab, let's say, so for easy memory here, the San Francisco Bay Area, right? There's a city called Walnut Creek. I used to live there for like 10, 12, 15 plus years. I could pull all of Walnut Creek or anywhere USA, right? Pull all the homeowner records. Then I pull all of the expired and canceled properties in that area, and I can run them against the county records, filter out to see if they still own the property. Then you can start a campaign called the Orphan Campaign, where the original listing agent has literally forgot or not contacted them, and you can send them very easy, simple things. And since they didn't sell, you go look at the records and you have your AI extrapolate out the date that they bought that home, and then have it automated through print or online to go out and wish them happy anniversary of the purchase of that home X amount of years ago. Yeah. And if you're friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, or you can do snail mail, but you get out in front of them, you're going to dominate the market. And that's just one cool idea using the Orphan program, utilizing this.
Okay. So here's a slide from a different presentation. Same type of thing, Greg. Here's what the predictive stuff is. Take the behavioral and the public signals, life events, tax record. We all know the distress symbols. Is it going to be a short sale? Is it going to be an REO? Process it. There are companies like Offers and Likely.ai that are going to go out there, and then you're going to get a predictive match. You're going to reduce the number of people that you have to contact in order to get a deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is. I mean, it really is up to you. I mean, if you want to utilize it, utilize it. It's a freaking awesome power source.
Yeah. Listing copy and content, another great AI category. I think it's going to, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Somebody's going to and he just drifted off. He had a glitch there. Like,
yes.
So listing copy and content in regards to like drafting a flyer, a brochure for the inside of the house, the outside of the house, with custom, stuff on the back. By the way, guys, if you're going to do that with content and flyers, remember the other side of your flyer is 50% of the real estate on that flyer you're not utilizing. Make sure it's used. We can get into that later, but I think that's some of the most important stuff. You can pre-draft, documents, write different letters and emails, have different, opportunities for communication is right there. As Michael diligently stares into the computer screen of the beautiful blue light hitting his eyes. Okay, he's not even paying attention.
All right. So next one, Greg, let's talk about virtual staging.
Okay.
Is this good or bad?
I think it's fantastic. I do it all the time with our listings. I'll do the empty house or the messy house photo if the clients or the renters won't clean up. I then go in with I use Box Brownie or Box Brownie or whatever they changed their name to. For like $35, give or take, check with their new pricing. Go in and they can eliminate things. They can stage it all digitally. And then you just announce it in the confidential remarks. Like, hey, the property has been digitally staged. You see the original, then you see the opportunity for staging. So I use it all the time, and it's the most cost-effective and fastest return to make the home look amazing online, because every property goes on its first date with its future buyer online.
Yep. Okay. Agentic CRMs. So let's skip this one for a second. Okay. And talk about disclosure and document analysis. Greg, are you doing anything with this now?
Yeah, I learned it from you.
Okay, so
I'd like you to explain what you did, because when I heard your process, I immediately went out and copied it, because it is a game changer for time, guys. So Michael, what did you do with this? Because it honestly is amazing.
okay, so I turned with Claude Cowork's help, I created a script that went out. It goes out and it finds all of the latest rough price estimates on different actions: plumbing upgrade, new windows, new roof, new etc. And it then goes through and it processes the entire package of disclosure. So you download all the disclosures, you put it in a common folder, you give it access to the folder, and then you say, give me a disclosure analysis. And I have it set up as a skill, goes out, gets the latest prices, goes through and it reads the entire disclosure package very, very quickly compared to what it would take me to go through it. We're talking minutes as opposed to days. And then it processes back. The first thing it does is it creates an executive summary for my client, so my client can see what they get with a particular home. It gives the home a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, and then it explains why. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm showing people, this is what you see in the disclosures. Here's what it is. Here's where we're referencing the bad things, the less bad things, and the good things. And then we're putting that out for properties that are in an HOA. It rates the HOA. Are they solvent? Is there a likelihood for a special assessment? It reads through the minutes and it gives you an idea of what is coming down the line. This is something that most of us can't do. We can't get through there and extrapolate that information. It is pretty accurate. I have it double check its work, and I have it reference everything it does so that I can look at why is it thinking this, and it will show me in what report, what document. I can just click on a link and it's going to take me right there. This is something that has saved my time and energy a ton.
Yeah, I mean that is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, not to mention, like you said, the HOA documents, all the disclosures, the different contracts. I mean, all kinds of stuff. The HOA docs by themselves are completely confusing. But I mean, one of the things, maybe I don't think you mentioned this, but it's something that I've used and I'm using more and more and more because I love it so much, is that I give it a role. So I say, I want you to think like an HOA executive, an attorney, a CPA, a first-time home buyer, and a very proud parent helping with the purchase of their child's first property. Each independently walk me through the mindsets and concern patterns or concern aspects for each thought pattern, combine it and tell me if this is a go or no go. And it's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, I get different points of views. I give the documents to different people who are in those different roles. Obviously, be very kind, never, disparage anybody and say, oh, this over aggressive, super, helicopter mom, going to be looking at these documents. Better make them right. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Make it always kind, but I've found it to be super helpful because everybody got on the same page really quickly. And then they had an active conversation between themselves about real concepts and consequences, either positive or negative, about buying the property. It's fascinating to watch. Try it.
Yeah. Now, I do think it requires training.
Yes.
Because some things AI thinks are more damaging than others. So if a inspection report calls out a fire life safety issue, like there's no carbon monoxide detector, it puts that big red, somebody's going to die if we don't have this. And that's a cheap fix.
$25.
50.
Well, yours are like $300, but mine is $25.
Greg's into the Chinese knockoffs that come across. Nothing wrong with that. It gets you out the door. Okay, market analysis and valuation. Okay, we all have access. Every NAR member has access to RPR, and I highly recommend it. It's a great way to get some valuations out of the properties, but it's something else to give AI a property address and run it through so that you have a chance to see what AI gets out of that. And I do this all the time. Hey, what do you think XYZ address is worth and why?
Yeah, show me comparables and thought patterns. I mean, basically, you're literally having a conversation like you would have with, well, having a conversation with yourself. You're a market expert. Tell me why, because you ask the questions you're going to be asked, come back with the answers. But keep in mind, you're the human. It's a computer. You can change stuff. You would add stuff, take away stuff. Doesn't have to be God's only, God's gift to humanity. But when we're on that conversation topic, what about hallucinations, Michael? And have them talked about hallucinations and kind of where those fall.
Hallucinations are too much coffee, but it's empty. Hallucinations are all about AI making things up. And what I think we have to realize is that AI is not perfect. Sometimes it will create an answer where none exists, or it will try to fill in the blanks where they shouldn't be. A good example of this is they found that AI, which passed the bar,
the legal bar, like attorney bar,
and needed a point to solidify their argument on a particular topic. And it hallucinated an actual case.
The whole case.
The whole thing from start to finish.
That is terrifying.
So, yeah, it is. So I think you just have to make sure that you're double checking. AI is not a reason not to do your job. It's just going to simplify it. Okay, workflow automation number 8 is pretty easy. Let's talk about workflow automation. If you have something that you are doing over and over and over and over and over, saying happy birthday to people on LinkedIn, this is what AI is perfect for. Okay, there are flaws. It's not necessarily a hallucination, but Greg wished me happy birthday twice.
The second one was because I didn't know the process, and I did it by my own fingers, and I wished him happy birthday. But happy birthday. He's like, you might want to check our connections on that, Greg. I'm like, oh,
yeah, it's
I'm
okay.
glad I would give that to you, not somebody else.
So be careful with automations, listing, video, and marketing. Greg, take over.
Listing, video, and marketing on this one is so stinking simple. I mean, one of the things that I love to do is I go look at the house, right? Then I take notes. I like taking notes by hand. I know there's a lot of really great programs out there, which I'm probably going to start using, like Noti or a couple other ones. Noti's not the one that I can put on my phone, but there's a one I can put on my phone and record the whole thing with my seller's permission. Of course, you always get a permission. And then I will go back and I will highlight different aspects about the video and the marketing. So if they're really interested in, they want to highlight the kitchen or the backyard, the pool, the chicken coop, the giant landscaping, whatever, right? Great. I'm going to make that one of the highlights in the videos and make sure AI discusses it with me at in nauseam so that people really get it. I also, when it comes to marketing for the properties, in Google Labs right now, there is a new product, and check with legal and check with your broker before you do this. But this is an idea that I had when I saw this new product. It's called Flow, Flow. You take a photo of anything, right? And then you can literally dictate to it exactly what you want in that photo. So let's say that your clients love the kitchen. Great. You know that Mr. was wearing a black shirt and jeans. Mrs. was wearing a sundress. The kids were both wearing jeans and T-shirts, and the boy had a baseball hat on. The girl had a pigtail, right? Now, you take the photo of the kitchen, and then you describe to the AI exactly like, I want a male or female at this age, this style of dress, this hairstyle. The kids are these ages, guesstimations. Then for just for the example, mom is pulling a giant turkey out of the oven. Dad's, opening a bottle of wine. Kids are finishing homework at the dining room table. It's all caught in that photo, but you put them there. Then you take that photo and you flip it over to your client Michael, and you say, "Hey, Michael, you and Stacy like that house, that kitchen, right? At 456 Maple? Yeah, we love that kitchen. We've been talking about it. Check your inbox." Now they have a representation of what they could look like in that home.
Mhm.
You keep the fire cooking, baby. And that's just one thing you can do. That's just one of my ideas. Michael, what's an idea you'd put with listing video and marketing?
I think the one that I would put most there, Greg, is how easy it also is to automate getting video posted on your accounts. So it used to be kind of laborious to go in, add something to Facebook, tell it that you were going to post, add comments. You can now really automate that. If you're using CapCut or any other tool out there, you also have the ability to go in really quickly and post that to multiple sites. When we set up our stream for this show, we're posting this in multiple places simultaneously. That's not always AI, but AI could do that very easily.
Mm-hmm. And it can restructure it for each individual vertical. So is it what are the photos or video sizes going to be? What are the captions going to be? What are the different tags for the different, social media platforms? Speak the native language. TikTok, you talk one way. LinkedIn, you talk another. You get the point.
Yep. Okay, so real quick, we're going to go back to agentic CRMs. Okay, general AI assistants, we've talked about that ad nauseum. Agentic CRMs are where your CRM starts to either prompt you to do things, or you are using your CRM to actually communicate with clients. So if you're using Follow Up Boss, for example, excuse me, there is another tool called Follow Up Ace. Follow Up Ace will actually draft emails on a schedule and put them into your outbox so you can quickly review them and then send them out to your clients. It knows what's going on. If you are using Follow Up Boss, you understand how powerful this can be, but it's about moving the needle and continuing conversations. And that is super, super important. So, as we talk about all these things, there is a lot of it out there. So conversational AI and lead chat is huge. This ties into your CRM. Never miss a lead, even at midnight. Okay. Never miss a lead. Excuse me. Even if you don't speak Spanish, okay, or some other language. Okay. Predictive lead intelligence. Use tools to know, is this lead real?
The first one on the left, by the way, is a complete bullshit company. I don't know why they made it on the list, and they are not a valuable asset. And I'm going to say that publicly. Do not use SmartZip. Absolutely, 100% do not use SmartZip.
We'll skip that one. Listing, copying, content creation. There's a lot of tools out there. I just use Claude. You could use ChatGPT, virtual staging. Greg talked about Box Brownie. I encourage you to also try Snap.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, that was the one I
great
forgot.
product owned by Box Brownie. Same thing, except you can now do it from your iPhone. Okay, really works well for rentals and quick tours as well. Agentic CRMs, Follow Up Boss, KV Core, Lofty, which used to be Chime. There's so many tools out there. Disclosure and document analysis, I use Claude. Okay, and I use it pretty much exclusively. There are custom tools that people are developing, and there is one or two people that are doing a pretty good job of monetizing this and doing that. Market analysis and valuation. Okay, Greg, have you ever used House Canary?
I have. I've dabbled with their content and their data. It's actually very, 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 very good if you're going to be doing investments, commercial, multifamily, analyzing different places for good deals. I think. I mean, of course, the premise of me talking about AI or tech is the fact that I'm cheap when it comes to this, so I didn't pay for it, but I did mess around the free version. I think it's awesome sauce.
Yeah, good tool. Redfin, Zillow, another ones, Perplexity, Claude. All of that stuff is great. Workflow automation. If you are not using Zapier today, and Greg, this is going to be another one that
I'm
changes your
working on
world.
it. That's my next thing to do.
You can use Zapier and Claude to work in just about anything. And guys, the future isn't you put something into Claude and get a result and put it somewhere else. That's not the future. The future is something happens that creates a trigger that opens a zap that prompts Claude to do something, and then Claude returns the results using Cowork into the application that asked the original inquiry, whether it be email, your calendar, notes, tasks. All of those things can be done very, very easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
the cool thing about that is that you can be on the road and, let's say a news break takes place, something that you flagged a trigger for. Get on and do a quick TikTok or short or reel or something about that subject matter, guys. Breaking news. This just came out. The FCC, blah, 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 blah. Figure out, fill in the blanks. But I think that could be a really good way to stay top of mind and relevant very fast. Just if you
Yep,
want to do that.
exactly. Auto Reel, Nano Banana, create your listing videos, visual marketing, 3D tours, Matterport AI, which is kind of expensive. Zillow 3D tours are free. You do need a fancy little camera, but you can get a 3D camera now that works for well under $1,000.
That's 360, right?
This is the Rico Theta or whatever. Yeah, Theta.
No.
And it
Okay.
was
Well,
$1,000 a couple of years ago. They're getting cheaper.
$1,000. I bought my 3D 360 camera for like $200.
Yeah.
This is like back in like 2000 and 13, 14.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
General AI assistants, Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini. I am almost exclusively in Claude right now, and have been very happy with it. Perplexity is pretty good for research. I don't use chat so much anymore, and I am getting back into Gemini because Google has announced they are really, really moving forward on Gemini integration with Google Workspace tools.
It's true. I use Gemini, and I'll tell you one thing. That is one of the most intuitive, thought-provoking AIs I've used so far. I was messing around building a hypothetical 50-acre, compound or all kinds of crazy stuff. And I was just typing stuff in to have fun, right? I was relaxing. The dang thing was giving me suggestions, building it out, giving me pricing structures, and, asking me this, suggesting that. And I had a lot of fun doing this. I tried Gemini if you just want to kind of think and play a little bit. And they can do graphs and charts and images, all kinds of fun stuff. And it's fast. It is stinking fast.
Yep. Build your
Why do you always say
stack? Yep. 100%. That means I agree. Right framework, depending on what you are, solo, growing team, full stack. Do not hesitate to change if you feel that there is a better answer to your problem. As we've always said, AI won't replace agents. Agents using AI will. Draft emails, chasing leads, staging listings. This is where you are going to start. Greg, this has been a great show. You know how I'm a stickler for time. It's 38 minutes right now. What's your takeaway from this show?
I usually try to make a joke at this point, but I'm not. In realistic speaking, it's up to you guys and gals. You're going to have two outcomes here. Either you're going to look at this and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I need to get moving on this like yesteryear. Or you're going to say, I'll get to it tomorrow. Don't wait. Don't wait. Even if you think everybody is using AI, because that is the new trendy topic for everybody to talk about. My buddy James Rembrandt, the Zillow Killers, put a post out the other day, and he brought it into reality for me, and I think for everybody else. He had a huge box. It had little tiny squares. Each square was 3.1 million people, represented the entire world, right? Then all the way down on the bottom, there were like these yellow bars. Those are the people that have heard about AI. Then they have like 4 or 5 bars or little squares that are like green, or it's a different color. And then there was one square that was red. Now, why is that important? Is this the one square? Now, that's still 3.1 million people, or 2 squares. That's 6.2, 6.4 million people are actively doing what we just talked about. The other people are hearing about it. I'll get to it tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you right now, do not be those white squares at the top. Do not be the yellow squares that say, oh my God, I've heard of that GPT square thing. Not sure what that is, though. It's not for me. It's going to be for you, or you're going to be out of business and you're going to miss an opportunity. We're sitting right now, the time of this recording, we're sitting at the time, basically, it's like 2007 when in the internet, right? Didn't know what you're doing, kicking things around. There's, we're riding horses and shooting 6-shooters. It's the Wild West. This is where the money is made. Now, Michael, to finish off that, I want everybody, if you want to, there's a guy, what is his name? Dan Martell. And Dan, Martell. Go to YouTube, take a look at this stuff. White guy, dark hair, generally in a t-shirt. You want to learn about AI? He gives you business ideas, thought patterns on what he's doing, his team's doing, what other people are doing. They're using OpenClaw, Claude, and they're building industries and businesses from nothing. Check this stuff out. It will, once you listen to it, you can't unhear it. Okay.
Yeah.
Michael and I have been screaming with a bullhorn. I'm just giving you another bullhorn. Listen, take action. Because Steve, that guy who just started real estate, who's 26 years old, who's in the bullpen, Steve's going to kick your butt if you don't get in line with AI. He's going to obliterate your market share that you built 20 years building. He'll do it in under 12 months.
100%. All right, Greg, with that, I'm going to give you my takeaway real quick. As Greg and I can do it, you can do it too. Okay. It is not hard. It takes time. It takes learning. But once you get it, the returns are exponential. Okay. Get Claude, put it to work. Let me know how it goes. Greg, with that, sign us off, baby.
All right, guys. Look, you don't need more resources. You need to be more resourceful. Go be curious, ladies and gentlemen. I believe in you. Until then, we love you. We'll see you on the next show. Bye-bye.